Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak 15202 OR. This is the jumbo, but as you've rarely seen it, with blue dial and rose gold case. You can see it and you can buy it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and of course complete pricing details for this rare Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Jumbo in precious metal. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, the watch is limpet flat, only 8 millimeters thick with a generously sloped octagonal bezel flank. It slides underneath any cuff, any sleeve, no matter how tight. It's built to order for formal attire. It does have an immense amount of physical area. For a watch of 39 millimeters, it wears as a 41, even a 42, and that's because of the broad cushion case. Again, it's hard to measure only 39 millimeters across this watch. You'd need an angle from roughly 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Anything else is going to give you substantially more than 39, and the watch is broad. From lug to lug, 49 millimeters, and if you measure the rigid-most outer point, the plots that join the lugs to the bracelet itself, you're actually looking at a span of approximately 52 millimeters. So the watch has a lot of physical presence for a 39. Think of it as a 42. It has an immense amount of heft too. While a standard Royal Oak is quite stout and steel, precious metal brings an entirely new dimension of luxury mass, that psychic satisfaction that comes from feeling the premium pull of precious metal on your wrist. Eyes closed, you know just how special it is. Now you're getting the same degree of metallurgical quality that you get in a standard steel Royal Oak, and I'll show that to good advantage by highlighting the detail that's done on the case flanks. Note the diminishing hairline bevel of the case flank as it approaches the bezel. Also note the contrast in polish and satin grained finish. Noted on the bezel, noted on the case, and noted on the bracelet. You can see that hairline polish along the flanks of the shoulders, lighting up, beautifully rounded. A big part of what you're paying for when you buy a Royal Oak or a Nautilus, a sports watch in this class, is the amount of hand finishing that goes into the case and the bracelet. And in this instance, the bracelet is impeccably finished. The legendary, almost stepless taper of the Royal Oak bracelet, you can see the taper, but it's so hard to feel the individual steps between the links because the tolerances are just so precise. Polish is rendered where polish is least expected. You can see the intermediate plots joining the links together have a beautiful polish in between. It glistens like a jewel and it transforms as you move it through the light. And of course, you have a robust contemporary double deployant clasp. The jumbo bracelet has come a long way, and while always fine, in the modern era post-2012, and this is the post-2012 variant of the jumbo, the bracelets and the clasps are far more robust, substantial, massive, and solidly put together. And with twin trigger release, it cannot accidentally pop open. It is not friction fit, giving it a solid leg up on most entries in the haute de gamme sports watch clasp. Now the watch features a striking combination that is uncommon individually. One could say the blue dial and the rose gold are uncommon individually on the Royal Oak Jumbos, but the combination of the two is generally a boutique or a flagship dealer exclusive for Audemars Piguet. The gold is rare, and the blue dial has the highest rejection rate of the three principal dials that the manufacturer makes: blue, silver, and black. So this is, for all intents and purposes, a boutique exclusive, as you're unlikely to see it anywhere else, except here, of course. Now, since 2012, Audemars Piguet has built the tapisserie dial on in-house pantograph gear. Prior to that, they were made outsourced from Stern Creations, and while that was a lovely tradition, people just like the peace of mind that comes from owning a manufactured product in which all of the involved arts and sciences are executed under one roof by the manufacturer, and you get that here. All of the hexagonal bezel bolts are in their signature polished white gold, as they've been since 1972, regardless of steel or gold models. And you can see one of the signatures of the post-2012 Royal Oak Jumbo, the Audemars Piguet signature at 6 o'clock, also a monotone date disc that matches the dial. It's also exceptional in that it is fully luminescent, so while it does serve as, one might even say, the quintessential dress watch, ultra thin, It's also a little bit of a sports watch at heart, having that fully luminescent dial and with 5 ATM 50-meter water resistance, far more hermeticity than is common in the dress watch class. Now, you can also see that the watch features the classical caliber 2121, originally based on the Gescher-LeCoultre 920 Bausch. It's one of the great ultra-thin automatic movements of all time. Let's get that skeletonized and hand-engraved winding rotor out of the way. And you can see it actually has an annular winding system whereby a rail bearing the winding mass, that's a solid rail borne on 4 ruby rollers, so the rotor itself is a complete circle around the movement in the same plane as the actual bridges and the balance, such that the watch can be exceptionally thin, 8 millimeters, and the movement itself is only 3.05 millimeters thick. It has about a 40-hour power reserve, and it beats at an unconventional 19,800 vibrations per hour. You can also see that the balance is fixed by a gyromax or free-sprung architecture that gives it still a little bit more resistance to shock-induced timing variation. Very precise once adjusted, and it will hold an adjustment. It features 36 jewels, and it is adjusted by hand as well as finished by hand, with everything from the slots of the screws to the pilots beneath them to the rounded anglage at the edge of the bridge to the Côte de Genève and the perlage on the base plate, being to the standard you expect from Audemars Piguet. If the watch has one quirk, it's that the quickset function works by backing the hours up between 10 o'clock and 12, so 10 p.m. and 12 a.m. A little bit of an old school style quickset, but a small price to pay to have one of the finest and most traditional of dress watch calibers in one of the finest and most celebrated references. You can see this boutique exclusive available on our website.